How do they attach these tubes to the actual hole?
So you see this tape here?
So what's the cost on one of these tubes, Alfred? Because
depends on size.
yeah. So new dash put up here, new buttons with everything. But the paint job came out pretty good. We also put all these new lights. Look how much space you got in here. What's up, guys? I got another episode of Project Relaunch here for you today, and I got a special guest because I got Alfred from Luxury Rib Tenders.
What's up, guys?
You guys have seen him at the boat ramp, seen him at Haulover. He's the guy that started the whole boat ramp genre, and he's got a project here today. And rib boats, yeah. Well, you started with rib boats. That's what you actually started with. This project here, I'm actually a part of, and I'm proud to be a part of.
So thankful too.
Yeah, Alfred had a shell. And what is this, Alfred? Let the people know what this is.
Okay.
Because it didn't look like this, and I'm gonna put pictures of what it looked like before.
Okay. So I'm extremely passionate when it comes to rigid inflatable boats. So when somebody says a rib, that's what it stands for. Rigid inflatable boat. Some people say RHIB, which is rigid hard bottom inflatable boat. So when you see those terms, or you put those in like a Google Maps, Facebook Marketplace or OfferUp, that's what people are looking for when they're trying to find boats like this.
They call them dinghies too, right?
Dinghies, well, the smaller would be considered a dinghy. A lot of people refer them as a Zodiac as in general, which Zodiac is a brand. This is an actual brand. It looks like a Zodiac, but it's a Nautica. This is what a company that was down here in Broward that made really, really good boats, and it's called Nautica International. They went out of business, I think, like 2009, 2010 or something like that. Really good boats. This is a Nautica Widebody. And just so you know how you can tell when you get some of these boats, there's the Widebody model, which is the one that I particularly like the most. It'll say WB on the actual plate. Don't show the actual hull plate there, but there it is, okay? And it'll say 15 WB, it'll say 12 WB. Personally, I like the 13.5 WB Widebody and the 15. The 15 is big, and you saw, I mean, being on a sea trial.
Yeah.
But I've restored these on my channel from the beginning when I started doing my channel. That's what I would do, is I would restore these, find them really messed up. In some cases I had to retube them, in some cases I didn't have to retube them. I just had to clean them up. This is a full restoration that you've helped me on.
So yeah, I'm gonna put the link up here if you want to see the restoration of the rib boats, because you've done a lot of them.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of.
You started your channel from doing rib boats.
My passion is rib boats, right?
Yeah.
And then you know, in YouTube you just start going and start doing different things. From rib boats, I did rib fishing, which is fishing off of a rib boat. Then, you know, I did the Sunk Dorado series where a motor fell off. And then from there, I went to the Chit Show and the Dinghy series, which is the Dinghy series, kind of like what we did on your boat, which is basically going on a small boat, showing people that you can do just as much as anybody with a big boat on a small boat.
On a smaller boat.
So, but this has been an awesome project to do.
It didn't look anything like this.
Nothing.
It didn't have the tubes, right? These are the tubes. It didn't have the tubes on there.
Yeah.
This thing was painted. I mean,
yes.
The upholstery's been, everything is...
The upholstery's not here right now because we just finished doing a sea trial and we still got to clean it up. But it looks really, really nice with the upholstery.
Yeah, it's like 95% done.
Yeah, I have the windshield that we're waiting on, and a couple small steps, and you'll be able to see that on my channel. And you'll see how Andres did the electrical. He did the electrical from scratch. We got all the stuff from El Capitan. That video is on my channel, so if you're in the market of doing your own wiring job, this man will teach you how to do it. And I think he's very thorough, that just anybody that listens and watch the video, you'll be able to figure it out. Okay.
All right, so let's start with the hole, right? So what did you do with the hole?
Okay.
So these tubes weren't here.
The tubes are not here. So imagine right now, this is a hard bottom. If you look in the bottom there, okay, this is a hard bottom inflatable. So theoretically, I can take off all the air from this boat, and I have videos on YouTube, and it could still run. It'll flap. It'll run.
But it won't sink.
It won't sink because it's just like a boat. I tell people, look, a rigid inflatable boat is basically a boat with a life vest on. And then everybody doesn't mind you hanging out next to them because you're not going to hurt their boat. So nobody's freaking out. Oh, watch out, you're gonna crash into. No, you just bounce off. So that's one of the things that I liked about them. And when they're not too big, also you can get into restaurants. Nobody cares that you're in the way or anything like that. But essentially, this is the hole. These are the tubes.
How do they attach these tubes to the actual hole?
Okay.
Yeah, is there a special like adhesive or?
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Because I don't know much about rib boats.
Okay.
I'm learning from you.
Okay. So you see this tape here?
Yep.
This tape actually is just a cosmetic tape.
Okay.
Okay. On this bottom tube, imagine that there's like a whole strip that has strips.
Oh, okay.
And those strips will hold on to, you see the fiberglass here?
Yep.
It'll hold on. And then what they do is they cut it and then they put this here. So what's that?
Cosmetic.
Yes. So if I pull this tape off right here, the tube, it won't go anywhere.
It's not gonna go anywhere.
That's just cosmetic. That's just for looks. So there's multiple. Every strip is holding on. Some places like in Europe, when I went to the Nova Jolly factory, they'll glue this onto the side of the boat. In this case, if you look in here, you see that little wall right there?
Yeah.
Okay. On that wall, there's nothing else to do. There's very like a small layer like this. It's like little area that you can glue on there, but we don't like to do that down here in South Florida like that. Because if you had to change a tube or do a repair on the tube, to get that glue off is a mission. All you would have to do is heat up those strips that you made, and you take them off, and then you can take off the tubes.
Now these things are customizable, so like you can do all types of handles. Can you do like fishing rods on these things? Like
absolutely.
What can you do?
Okay, so these are what we call loop handles. You can make the loop handles however color you want.
Mm-hmm.
This is also a cosmetic feature. Has nothing to do with the structure of the tube or anything like that. It's just more cosmetic, and if somebody's sitting in the bow, you can hold on. One of the things that's really important, so people understand, you see that valve there? Okay, that valve, and you see over here, stay right there, stay right here in this position. Let me show you what, like this crease right here.
Yeah.
There's like a baffle
Okay.
that separates this tube from the next
Section of tube.
So right now, you see that right under you, right below you? Okay. This baffle, there's not another one there, right?
Yeah.
There is there?
No, here, no, there's no baffle there.
So it'll go from here to where the next baffle is, which is where you're at. No, I'm sorry, there's one right here.
Okay,
right
so
here.
this section.
So this section is right here to right here.
Got it.
And then from that side, from the middle there to here is another, and then you'll have another valve right here.
And that's for just in case.
If you puncture here, all this other stuff is fine. It's still gonna be perfectly hard. Your cones. So I have another brand called Nova Jolly, it's an Italian manufacturer that I personally have a boat. It had a fiberglass cone. Somebody ran into something that it spit the cone from here. And then what happens is this baffle here, you see here, in my other boat, the baffle will be here. So there was a baffle here and the water would go in here and nothing happened. And then what I did is I deflated that tube, the entire tube, for a video on YouTube, so people could see that I was in open ocean and I deflated the whole tube, and nothing's gonna happen because you're sitting on the hard bottom. The Nautica Widebody 15 is a super capable boat and badass in the water because the nose sits really high and it sits on this pad right there, and you're basically chopping, pum, 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 but there's a lot of stress on this rear comb. So a lot of people who've had this after maybe 7 years, we know that there's an issue with that, but it's a good thing to have because you have a lot of stability on the water holding these tubes. So it's going, and you hit something up front and it just boom, 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 and stabilizes.
It's like stabilizes it.
But the drawback is that after a certain amount of years, the cones might fail on you. The seam that holds the hypalon.
Got it.
Not on the 13.5, it's really 15. But if you ask me, hey, would you rather have a 15 or a 13.5? I'll pick the 15 because it's bigger and it's just a lot more spacious.
How durable are these things? So what does it take
years.
to 15 years?
15 years or even longer, right? So
that's pretty good.
So look, it's Hypalon is very durable. Okay, it's a very durable material. Orca is what we use when we retube these guys, and you can go to the website Luxury Rib Tenders. relaunch.com, and if you wanted information how to retube these, we can retube it for them.
So what's the cost on one of these tubes, Alfred, more or less? Because
depends on size.
Yeah, and we're gonna get into how much this whole project costs and how much everything from the engine to the tubes to everything. We'll get into that towards the end. But how much does an actual tube cost more or less? What are we looking at as far as price goes? Obviously, it depends on the size.
Look, COVID has changed a lot of when it comes to pricing on a lot of this stuff, and regrettably, prices have gone higher than what they usually were. Like a tube like this is around 6,500 to 7,000 based on what you do to it, and that can change by the time they see this video. I can't control that.
Yeah.
This is imported. Okay. It's
the material is imported.
Orca, Orca Hypalon, and is what we recommend. Most high-end manufacturers that do rib boats will use Orca. In this case, this is a brand new boat essentially, right? You got brand new tubes, brand new engine, brand new upholstery, brand new electrical work that you did. So think about it, like what's gonna fail?
Yep.
The biggest thing is the fuel tank. The way that the project relaunch that we did, ideally you would want to get the shell, clean the tank. Well, there's nothing there. The last thing you want to do is the tubes.
Yeah.
Because all this is easy access. Like right now, for me to get in here, it's a mission.
Yeah.
But if I didn't have these,
no, you reach over, no problem.
You do anything right here. You literally this is gone.
Yeah. Now I did notice that on these boats there's a little bit less space than maybe a little center console. Inside. Yes. Yeah.
But it looks much bigger when it's in the water.
Yeah, it does.
It looks really big because look at you're getting about maybe 2.5 feet here.
So what else did we do here, Alfred? So the boat got painted.
Lights.
Right.
We had Deepwater Custom make us some custom doors.
Let's do some of the wiring in here so people can see.
Yeah, you should get in there, jump in there so you can see. Don't worry about it. All right, yeah, show them the radio, the lights.
Yeah, we'll start up here at the bow. So they painted the whole inside of the boat, obviously. They do all grip, right? Is that what they?
Miami Outboards did.
Miami Outboards did an all grip paint job. And then
it's a little dirty, right?
Is this where you would store? Okay, your anchor would store in there. Okay.
You would have an anchor there, which we're gonna change out the bow eye now on this.
Yeah, got some more storage in here.
More storage.
Your life vest and stuff like that.
And then you have storage here.
Yeah.
And you have your
battery over here. And then more storage on this side. So yeah, I did the wiring on this boat and it was a fairly easy job to do. I'll put the video for that up here. I think that video is coming out next week. But the paint job came out pretty good. We also put all these new lights. All LEDs.
Open that right there so they can see. And it's we ran this with a temporary.
Yeah, we ran this with a temporary tank because we're still cleaning that tank. Look how much space you got in here. Got a bilge pump, a new bilge pump. That's the temporary tank.
In this case, if we really wanted to, we can have 2 tanks, right?
Yeah, you could put one on each side if you wanted to.
But what's going to happen is, because there's a lot of power and there's a lot of weight in the back, the boat will porpoise regardless. A lot of dinghies will porpoise regardless. So what people do, or inflatables, small inflatables, because they're top heavy, they're back heavy, they'll either put a little fin to help plane on the actual engine, which you don't even have to screw on or nothing. It's just literally it'll go on the lower unit, or some people go ahead and put trim tabs to help the porpoising. The porpoising is when the bow, when you're doing your hole shot, it lifts up. In this case, it lifts up very high, but it drops very fast too because there's so much power on this 90. This boat is rated up to a 90, but it's probably best with a 60,
75
or 75.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean this boat went 49 miles an hour.
Yeah.
That's in the water.
I'll put a clip of that up here.
It's incredible, guys. 49 miles an hour with this is incredible.
So new dash put up here.
All new electrical, which you did as well in the back.
With new buttons, with everything.
All new buttons.
A Suzuki dash, digital gauge.
Fusion
radio in here.
And it's got a little box. You see that
little box in there.
Fusion.
There's your wiring in there. And then
this is just storage up here, down here.
Yeah, more storage down here. So you got a little storage box over here. Let's put this guy on here so the sun doesn't.
Got him.
There you go.
And now more than anything, you can have like accessories, right? Like you can have like a freshwater hose to hose down here. There's a ladder that'll come up here. This particular boat we put underwater lights, so at night it's gonna look really, really cool. You have your fuel fill up here.
Yeah, let me take a look at that.
Your fuel fill up will be here.
Yeah, the bilge
Bilge
hose
come out of
comes out of here.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. It also has these hooks. This is for if you want to carry on a davit or something like
Yeah.
that.
So most tenders, that's what they'll call. That's why my site is called luxuryribtenders.com. It's a luxury rib, rigid inflatable tender for a yacht. So this will hook up either here or here. Some people put it here. This is meant for this one here. Okay.
Right.
And then you have up in the front right there, and then you'll put it on your davit,
Yeah.
put it on your boat, you're ready to go.
I see the underwater lights over here. We installed those, and then let's talk about the Suzuki 90.
Incredible.
Incredible.
21-inch, 21 prop. We ran a 22 right afterwards because we were spinning a lot, and we went 49. But we lost a little bit of power going up a little bit.
So, Alfred, you said we put a 90. Why did you go with a 90 versus a 75?
Same block,
Same block,
right?
same weight.
Right, same thing. But if you've been on the water enough, you know that you want more when you need it, as opposed to have less, right?
Right.
If a storm, you have more people on the boat. There's 190 left. I think around here somewhere there's like.
Yeah, they got a bunch of. See, all these are sold, and they got all these other motors out here.
So what you want to do is get your name on a box, essentially. When it says sold, your name is on that box on there. You see how it says Miguel, so and so. That's his motor ready. Damasco Lopez over here. I mean, I don't want to out anybody, but if you can get a motor here at Reliable, the good thing about Reliable and why we like to be with Reliable is because the motors are here.
Yeah, they have them in stock.
They have them in stock.
I mean, how fast will the install? The install will take 3 days.
3 days. And I mean, and it's taking a little longer on my end because remember we had the whole fuel tank stuff and all that stuff.
Let's talk about price. So, how much you already had this actual hole, right? So you already had the hole sitting there. What did that cost you, if you remember?
Not a lot of money.
Not a lot of money.
I mean, you'll find them on Facebook Marketplace for nothing.
For nothing.
I mean,
a grand or
sometimes they want you to get them out of there. If you were to build that same shell with today's prices, which that's a 2003 hull, that hull is going to cost you minimum six grand to build.
Yeah.
Or more. Who knows? With the resin.
The tubes cost about $7K. Let's just say
It could be less if you go with thinner Hyperline, but I want to go 866. 828 is thinner. 866 is thicker, which is usually used on bigger boats.
Okay, so 7K. Let's say you get a hole for $1 grand. Let's just say 8K.
8 grand.
Paint.
Not much.
Paint,
Because you can do that. You do it yourself.
Yeah, you could do it yourself. You really could. What else? Electrical. We said we actually did that. It was about $1,000, right? It's about $1,200.
Yeah, like
with all the supplies, the batteries and all the wiring.
I mean, but we did our own labor, right?
Yeah, we did our own labor.
So that's a little different, right? But if you have to hire somebody, it's going to be obviously more expensive because that's something technical. But that's why you want to watch Andres's video. You'll save yourself another $1,500 in just labor,
right?
Or maybe even more.
Or more? I would say more.
More.
So then we have the motor. How much was the motor?
They got a discounted motor over here at Reliable. So I think with steering and everything is about 11,000 with hydraulic steering.
That's pretty good. So total, we're looking at how much?
Just under 23,000.
And you pretty much have a brand new boat. So
but that same boat right now, if they were making that boat, that'll be a $50,000 boat.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Is how much is one of these boats brand new today? If you go to, we're going to go to the boat show, so we'll see them there.
Boat show, but you're not going to find that boat
because they don't make them anymore.
They don't make them anymore.
So what are you doing with this boat now? Is this boat for sale?
Okay, so it's amongst a couple brothers, but they're thinking, hey, we want to go ahead and sell the boat. So they're going to try to sell that boat for $26,000, which I think is a steal.
Yeah,
it's a steal. But I'm so excited to see how it performed with that 90. I have another shell that I want to build for me.
Okay.
So maybe you can help me with that.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll get into it. But we already know. And the idea is get the shell, guys. spend half, maybe 3 times less than buying a new boat, and you know everything. There's no surprises because you went through
doing
it
everything
from the beginning to the end.
And when I'm on the microphone, you best to wear your sweater, the bear's toenails. Oh hell, your eye is that same motherfucker that took them knuckles to your.